Now, as I emphasized in the last lecture, props are super important. We use them for something which is also called parent-child communication. So the parent component or app, in this case our main app, communicates to its child HTML element, to its child component, in this case to the friend contact component. The friend contact component is a child of this app because we use it in the template of the app. On the other hand, for friend contact, the app would be the parent because, well, friend contact gets used in the template of app. So these are just terms you can keep in mind, parent and child, and we use props to communicate from the parent to the child. So to pass data from the parent to the child component, from app to friend contact in our case. Now here's one important thing you have to know about props and which you should keep in mind. Props typically should not be mutated. And what do I mean by that? Let's add a new prop. Let's say here in app.view we have a isFavorite prop which we pass to friend contact, and the value I pass here is 1 for true or 0 for false. So here I pass isFavorite, and here let's say I set this to 0. Now that's a new prop which we therefore should add here in friend contact. isFavorite written like this. Now we got this isFavorite prop. Now let's say we want to use that to output some extra information after the name. Here with interpolation, I'm checking if isFavorite is equal to 1. And if that's the case, I'll output some extra text here, otherwise I won't. And the extra text is a pair of parentheses where I say favorite. If I now save that and reload, you see favorite after Manuel Lawrence, because that is where I added isFavorite. And after Julie Jones, we don't see that because there I set isFavorite to 0. Now, why am I doing that? Well, let's also see we have another button here which allows us to change the favorite status. I'll say toggle favorite on the button. And I'll add a new method, toggle favorite could be the name, to which I want to point here with the click listener on that button. And now we add this method here in the methods, toggle favorite. And in here, I'll check if this isFavorite is equal to 1. So if we were a favorite, in which case I'll set it to 0. And otherwise, if isFavorite was 0, I'll set it to 1. We could do this to change the favorite status with help of the button. If we save that, we get an error here. The error is unexpected mutation of isFavorite prop. As I mentioned, that's not something you should do. Now, why should you not do that? Because Vue uses a concept which is called unidirectional data flow. Now, that's again a fancy term, but it means one simple thing. Data passed from app to friend contact should only be changed in app, not in friend contact. We just pass data down to friend contact, and once the data is passed down, friend contact cannot change the data we manage in app view, at least not by simply changing the received data. So if we change data inside of friend contact, like here when I try to change isFavorite, this is not allowed by Vue because we violate this pattern of having a unidirectional data flow. Now, if we want to change this, there are two ways of doing that. The first way of doing it is that we let the parent know that we'd like to change this. Then the parent can go ahead and change the data in itself and pass the updated data back to friend contact. That's a pattern we'll explore later. It's an important pattern and we'll therefore have a detailed look at it soon. The other approach is that we simply take the received data as the initial data inside of friend contact, and then we change that data inside of friend contact, but we are aware of the fact that we only change it there and that this won't affect the data in app.view. To implement this pattern, all we need to do is we need to add a new data property in our component. for example, friend is favorite, so using a different name than I used here. And now set this equal to this is favorite, so set it equal to the received prop value. Then we use the received prop value just as an initial value for friend is favorite. And now friend is favorite can be used here, friend is favorite, in the template, but also in the rest of the code. And if we now change that friend is favorite property, that will be okay, because that's now a regular data property where the prop we received is just used to set an initial value. So now that works, and I can toggle this favorite status. I'm emphasizing this and talking about this because this unidirectional data flow is an important concept. Now, of course, you will have scenarios where you want to be able to change the original data you got from the app.view file. So where just using it as initial data and then changing it internally is not enough. Therefore, we'll also very soon have a look at how you can implement that. For the moment, be aware that you should not mutate props, but if you need to do it, you can just take a prop as an initial value and then change the component exclusive property instead.